McKinsey Publishers did a research on over 3,000 global companies. And what they wanted to understand is how much or how many of these companies are actually able to make economic profits. And the results were startling. 20% of the companies that were studied control 90% of the economic profit. 60% of the companies barely met the costs of their operations or the costs of running the companies. And then 20% actually operated on a negative economic profit. What that means is they lost their investors' money in the process of trying to build and run successful businesses. So the question that got into my mind was that what is it that these 20% of the companies did? What is it that they are doing differently to what the other 80% of companies are not doing? It also got me thinking that most of the time we cry and complain about how running a business is hard. And fair enough, I think it is. This got me thinking that I should first of all define what a business is before we can even study and determine that one factor that these 20% of the companies did right. I met this gentleman by the name Jeff Kaufman in his book, My Personal MBA, and he defines a business as discovering what people need or want. That the first step to setting up a business is to discover what people need and want, and then you create a value about it. So that is what is called, first step is value creation. The second step, he says, is attracting attention and building demand. Attracting attention and building demand, in other terms, is called marketing. You have to do that as the second step. The third step is you turn those prospective clients, those people who have gotten your attention, into paying clients. That is what is called sales. And then once you get their attention and they are paying, then you need to deliver exactly what you have promised them. And that is what is called value delivery. And while doing all these things, we hope that you shall be paid sufficiently to be worthy of your time. And you can do it over and over again, what we call business financing or finance. In other terms, those 5 elements define what a business is. Most of us go into finance, most of us go into marketing, most of us go into sales before we figure out this one step, value creation. And at the core of value creation is something called market analysis. Before you determine what value you are going to provide to that market, had you or did you do market analysis? That is what 20% of the companies that control 90% of the economic profit of the globe do that others don't. That thing made me actually realize that we have been jumping this step. And we jump this step because it's not easy. Trying to study a market will take time. You probably need someone who has those kind of skills. You probably need to have very good observationary skills for you to figure out what the market actually really needs. And it might take a bit of time, which when we want to set up businesses, we really never have. When you want to invest into a business, you normally want to do it as fast as possible. But could we just take some little time and do something called market analysis? Now, because of how technical sometimes it can be, I have decided to go on a journey of trying to study markets. Because in another book which I read about Africa's business revolution, they were saying that companies that have succeeded in Africa have two very critical areas that they have done right. They have chosen the right geographical location, and they have also chosen the right trends to ride along. So if you want to do a market analysis, you have to select the right geography, the right location, and you also have to get the right trend. But how will you know these things if you don't understand or if you haven't studied the economic factors of those geographical regions? Therefore, I want to do that for the continent of Africa, but starting out with the country of Kenya. And I am going to look at the historical economic factors of Kenya to just try to look at any trend that can be picked to compare with where we are currently, and if there is anything we can learn from that and to determine the next steps of Kenya's economy. I know you want to set up a business and you want to invest in Kenya or Africa in general, but you don't really know which market is the trending market currently, or which direction is this market gonna take. But I'm here to tell you this. Just stick around and walk with me. Maybe you will pick something which I am certain that I will give you, and I will break it down in a way in which you will pick an element of the market that you can then go ahead and create value.